Hey, this is Tim Pierce. The other day, I went into my local music store and walked out with 2 vintage hollow bodies, which I did not pay for. Aiden and I had a great time exploring these guitars, and I did give them back. Click the link below if you want to check out the masterclass. Awesome. Aiden, I think we both fell in love with that guitar, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's the ES150 DW.
Yep.
I used it on a session this morning, and with the flat wounds, just by chance it happened to be sort of a jazzy approach.
Yeah.
The guy was after Stevie Wonder's Fulfilling Us First finale. There's some guitar stuff that's really kind of organic and just jazzy.
Yeah.
And I was emulating that a little bit, but the guitar, it has spank to it, it has sustain,
Yeah.
it has an in-your-face kind of presence, and a warmth to it. It's pretty great. I don't want to give it back, but it's going back tomorrow.
Yeah. It's one of those things, it's got a really nice balance between, you know, the jazzy elements of the thicker bodied hollow guitar, but these humbuckers are really nice. They're articulate, but there is some girth to them.
Yeah, it can rock.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's this really weird mix. Everything about this guitar, to me, comes across as like a nice little middle ground between a jazz arch top and like a 335, like more of a rocky blues kind of guitar.
Yeah. And what we can't convey to everybody is it's exceedingly comfortable to hold.
Yeah.
Part of it is there's no bracing in the guitar. They call it a true hollow body. And it's light as a feather, but it's also balanced, so it doesn't lean either way very much. The thickness of that guitar is just kind of ideal for comfort.
Yeah.
It's really wild.
Everything sits very nicely exactly where you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of the height of the lower bout here is perfect for that arm to rest there and to sit ideally on the bridge. Everything about it is... I'm surprised I don't see this body shape more often, honestly.
Yeah, it's nice. And it's a unique color. My wife saw that color today, and she just flipped over it. You know, it's the walnut, I guess.
Yeah.
This guitar is great, too. Much less refined, much less expensive. This guitar, it's called the Upbeat, right?
Yeah.
And these are called tissue box pickups?
Yeah,
is that it?
That's it's probably a colloquial term given to them, but it's
And the headstock's called a Kelvinator headstock.
Yeah.
Barney Kessel had a model that he actually didn't play, a K model that had his name on it. There's a lot of those out there, but this is not one of those. So the only thing about this is the neck, it needs a little bit of work. And it's got some fret buzz in here. but you really don't hear it.
Maybe in a chord or in a run, you wouldn't notice it unless you're trying to just hold that note in particular.
So I think they can fix that pretty easily. The other thing is this bridge moves, and I've often struggled with this because, like, I've often put like marking tape right there, which looks really ugly, but sometimes it's the only way to get the bridge in the right position. And check it out, it's not centered on the neck. So if I go like that, now it's centered.
Yeah.
So that's one of these floating bridges. You know, they're problematic in that.
You know, you could get someone to do a modification on that.
Oh, you're right.
But it is, you know, it's fascinating. Old Gretsch guitars are the same way. Old Rickenbackers drive me mad trying to, you know, do a setup on them.
Yeah.
With those 3-piece bridges that are all falling to pieces when it's not held together by the tension of the strings.
But this is a very... I mean, generally these cheap pickups are like wide open microphones. I read a comment by Ry Cooder where he said that the humbucker was the end of good guitar sounds because he always liked the really inexpensive, noisy guitar pickups because they were like microphones and they were very open. And this guitar sounds very open. Listen to it. You are going to have to spend a little more time tuning it.
Right. I think that's something always worth mentioning when the topic of vintage guitars comes up. I always think vintage guitars, they definitely have their place, but at the same time, they're almost more at home in the studio nowadays, because you can go, oh, I was out of tune, let me just tune up. I don't know if I would take a real vintage piece, sit it on a stand in front of stage lights, and use it for a song or two, and be able to trust that it was going to be in tune when I picked it up and hit that first chord.
But this... really open. I mean, the combination, listen how open that is. Very sparkly, and then the neck pickup. Almost too much for a chord, but check it out how perfect it is for a low run. This is a much less refined neck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I've done a couple of sessions for people where people have asked for a little bit more of a gnarly, aggressive, less controlled.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this guitar too. Aesthetically, you can't argue with it.
It's so rock and roll in its own way, you know? And I love that kind of breathy clarity to the pickups. It's so nice.
I mean, I can really slap it, you know? Part of it is, though, you get a lot of vibe from hearing the actual box in front of you.
Right.
I mean, you really do. One benefit to these big hollow body guitars.
That's so true.
You're getting something immediately from the actual box.
Yeah.
You know, in addition to the sound through the amplifier.